The Enlightenment era, arguably between 1600 and 1800, targeted and questioned the social, political, and religious conservatisms that governed society. During this time, countless enlightened figures questioned and altered the traditional authorities through philosophical ideals contained in books, essays, scientific discoveries, and new inventions. Although these rational changes occurred largely in Europe, it did have a great influence around the globe, and this can be seen in the Americas. Across the Atlantic in the 1770s, a number of enlightened thinkers influenced by the European Enlightenment questioned the British rule of the 13 American colonies. One of these prestigious figures was Thomas Jefferson, who would later create the foundations of a new nation. Thomas Jefferson was an American born on April 13, 1743 in Shadwell, Virginia, and died on the 4th of July, 1826. He was the third born of 10 siblings, and his father was a successful farmer and skilled surveyor and cartographer. His formal education began at 9, where he studied Latin and Greek at a local private school. At age 14, he took up further study of classical languages, as well as literature and mathematics. He was a very focused and diligent student at the College of William and Mary in Williamsburg. During his time at the college, he became known to a circle of old scholars, which included lawyer George Wythe. It was from these scholars that he received his true education, and soon he became one of the most learned lawyers in America. From 1767 to 1774, he practiced law in Virginia. During this time, he married Martha Wales Skelton in 1772. Having received upstanding education in his life, Jefferson was heavily influenced by the works of John Locke, an English enlightened thinker who questioned the divine rights of monarchs. Locke outlined that the power of the ruler or governor should be granted by the people and not by the theories of absolutism, where leadership was inherited through religion and family. Further, Locke also suggested that all people have natural rights of life, liberty, and property. These ideas greatly influenced Jefferson's philosophical principles, to which he would draft the Declaration of Independence upon these concepts. The beginning of Jefferson's professional life coincided with great changes in Great Britain's American colonies. Britain had been left in financial struggle after the conclusion of the French and Indian War in 1763. This led to high taxes on American colonies, such as the Stamp Act of 1765, which imposed a tax on printed and paper goods. The American Revolution was based on the differences in perception of how the British believed that the American colonies should be treated and how the American colonies thought they should be treated. Through this, the slogan, "No taxation without representation," was developed. Thomas Jefferson was one of the earliest supporters of American independence, and in 1768 he was elected to the Virginia House of Burgess, which was a radical bloc led by Patrick Henry and George Washington. In 1774, Jefferson wrote a summary of the rights of British America, and argued that American colonies should function under an independent governing body, as opposed to the British Crown. Jefferson expressed his belief in an independent America and debated that all 13 colonies of the Americas were found independent of British rule. Therefore, it should not exist as a feudal title. This pamphlet brought about controversy but established Jefferson as a skilled political writer. In 1775, the Continental Army was created by the Second Congress, in which George Washington became commander-in-chief. In June 1776, the Congress appointed a 5-man committee to draft a copy of the Declaration of Independence. Jefferson was chosen to author the Declaration's first draft, and the official document was adopted on July 4, 1776. Jefferson translated his philosophy of the Enlightenment to the document such that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This was undoubtedly Jefferson's greatest contribution to the cause of independence, as the ideas of the Enlightenment were being placed into practice to create a democratic nation founded upon equality and liberty. On the other hand, it is worthy to note that Jefferson emphasized the abolition of slavery in the first draft of the Declaration. However, this was removed, and the emancipation of slavery would not be enforced until 1863. Jefferson was one of the founding fathers of the United States of America due to his significant role in the drafting of the Declaration of Independence. Thomas Jefferson was truly an Enlightenment thinker who believed in values of freedom and equality.